Hello there, my gorgeous soul peeps and soul fam. You are here today for another pick a card reading with Tarot by Cassy, and today we are asking, what does Spirit want you to know? You can skip straight through to your pile or piles using the timestamps that are in the description or in the comments. You can pause the video if you need to meditate a little longer on the cards, or you can stick with me for the rest of the intro. You might hear shuffling, snuffling, flapping, sneezing, all kinds of things in the background. My beautiful dog, Billy, my familiar, is in here with us, as he likes to be when I'm doing the reading. So you're getting his energy too, and it's big, buff head, goofy, wonderful energy. So I would wish it upon anybody. But we have 3 piles today. Please remember that it is a general reading. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't for someone who needs it. And it's a timeless reading. So it may have a message for you whenever it comes to you. I'm using very different cards today than the ones I typically use. I've got a few different decks that I gravitate towards, but I'm trying to utilize the many ones that I have in these readings. So this is going to be a wild adventure for both of us, because I am not sure, or I'm not too familiar with some of these decks of cards. They will all be listed in the description if there's any that take your fancy and you want to find out more about them. And with that, we shall get into it. So pile number 1, this is reading from the Dreamweaver's Oracle, or I've used the Dreamweaver's Oracle to shuffle the cards to get our significator cards. And pile number 1, you are number 5, let your dreams be woven true. And I have paired that with this gorgeous little blueberry pie. These little pies were made by my extremely artistic and talented daughter. We have pile number 2, number 25, time to feed the hungry heart. And that has been paired with a mixed berry pie with some lashings of whipped cream on top. These make me hungry. And pile number 3, number 9, when a witch must drink their brew. And that has been paired with the little lemon meringue pie. So take as much time as you need to pick your pile. You can always choose more than one if more than one resonates. If you are in your pile and it isn't resonating with you, you can always jump out and hop into another pile and see if that message fits you better. If not, you can try one of my other readings, or you can even try another reader. I think that's everything, so I will see you in your pile. Hello there, my gorgeous pile number 1. If you chose number 5, let your dreams be woven true, and the little blueberry pie, then you are my pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. So I am going to read from the book for this deck, because I am most unfamiliar with it. So we will get a message. What does Spirit want you to know? Firstly, pile number 1, kicking off with let your dreams be woven true. The essential meaning, this card, the card of the Dreamweavers, co-creation, partnership with the divine powers, trusting your dreams will be in alignment with your soul's destiny, surrendering your will to a higher power. Okay, very interesting. So maybe you have been trying to control situations. Maybe you have been feeling mistrustful of the path that you're on, or not feeling very connected with the divine. Maybe you haven't been seeing any signs. Maybe it's been a long time since you felt like you're really in flow. Or maybe it's the complete opposite and you are already there and you are seeing signs. You're noticing lots of things. I'm noticing on this card as I'm talking all of the different imagery, the little, how we've got on this side a fish with the face, and we're under the water over here, and now we're on land with the tree, the bird, the mushrooms, the fox, the stars, and then we have this eye in the center, almost like a Venn diagram, connecting these two faces together. So there is so much going on in this card, and maybe you have actually been noticing it and you've been very receptive to these things and you are feeling very in flow. We'll keep reading to get some more information. Human beings often believe they create their world through the power of determination and will alone. Hard work and effort, striving, ambition, focus, imagination, and desire are all worthy components of reality creation, but they are not the only ones. To truly be an empowered co-creator and work your magic in the world, you need to remember you are in partnership with your higher power. So that's a beautiful message for you, pile number 1. Right out of the gate from Spirit, You are in divine partnership with a higher power. This is the metaphor of the Dreamweavers. It is a reminder that you are never alone. There are always divine forces at work on your behalf, listening to the stories in your mind and heart and reflecting them in the outer world. There is another message here about the strands in the fabric of reality that are constantly being woven. While there are things you cannot change or control, there are also threads you can choose to weave into this fabric of life based on the electric force within you. You dance between surrender and creation, fueled by your inspired dreams and intentions. Now is not the time for pushing harder, but for allowing things to organically take their course. Do your part, taking your steps, but surrendering the rest to the divine. Remember, your job is to know your why and hold space for the energy of your dream. In weaving the sacred essence of your desire, the how of it in quotation marks, will be revealed. Weave and let go. Weave and release. Let your dreams be woven true, and like magic, things will seem to work out, even when you're not concentrating on the pattern. So yes, my beautiful pile number one, very much a message to lean into the divine, to trust that there is a higher power at work here for you, and that now is the time for you to surrender and release. It's not the time to push. It's great to have ambition. It's great to have drive, but working harder on something is not going to get you to it any sooner than what releasing and taking in the world around you, slowing down, allowing your thoughts to wander, letting your heart dream, being very conscious of the world around you, nature in all of its glory, being very mindful in terms of feeling the breeze on your skin, feeling the sun and the warmth of it on your skin, feeling the ground beneath your feet, even if you're in shoes, just feeling the sturdiness of the feeling of the ground wherever you may be, inside or outside, supporting you. If you're sitting on a piece of furniture, a couch or a bed, feeling the softness of your body sinking into the couch and that couch supporting you, or sofa if you are one of my American viewers. Hi, you guys. But pile number one, this is not the time for you to push. This is the time for you to release and let go. So now we're going to get some cards from the Tarot of the Divine. And again, I will read the fables. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But for this reading, I am going to read the fables that are associated with the card. This feels like a very mystical kind of reading. That's the direction that it's going in today. I feel my gorgeous pile number ones. I've picked a couple of mystical sorts of decks. Beautiful, the Ace of Cups. So new love or new feeling and emotion coming in. We also have the Queen of Swords. And I think that she's got quite a brutal story in this deck, if I remember correctly, but we will read it to find out more before I go off on too much of a tangent. And the Ace of Wands. So two aces, my gorgeous pile number ones. That's actually really wonderful. New energy, new inspiration, new insight, all coming in. So this is very much saying, before I even pick up the book, that it very much repeats what this card is saying over here. Allowing things to flow, being trustful that you are in divine partnership with a higher power, that you have forces working on your behalf. I don't know how much I believe in fate and destiny, but I do think that you can definitely be on the right or wrong path, and you are currently on the right one, and don't need to do anything to maintain control of the situation. You can let things flow, because we've got these two new beginnings here, and the Queen of Swords, who very much cuts through a lot of nonsense and is able to communicate, is able to say what she needs, is able to stand up for herself. So basically this is saying that there are lots of new beginnings, and you do not have anything to worry about with this new beginning taking place, or with the path that you are on, or definitely new insight, though new feelings. I said I was going to read from the book, and then I went off on a little tangent anyway. So let's get the book and we will read. I will struggle to read the title of the suit, of the card, because they are fables from all different countries around the world. So please excuse my mangling of any names from the get-go. If I can get this page to turn, hang on a second. Maybe it's at the end. No, it's not at the end. I don't like it when I do this, guys. My apologies. Here we go. Ace of Cups. Matsuo Sake. Japan, Japanese mythology. The Ace of Cups marks a new beginning, a reason to drink and be merry, and to open up to subconscious feelings. Okay, so again, that connects back with this, just allowing yourself to be in your subconscious, allowing your focus to drift, almost like I'm seeing when you let your eyes go out of focus and everything becomes blurry. I feel that you're being called to do that, but on a spiritual level. Allow the day-to-day and the mundane and the things that you're focusing on and the stuff that you're trying to control, allow that to become hazy as you turn your focus inward and start to experience more, feel more, be in your body more rather than being in your head. Sake is a drink of the gods, bringing people closer to the spirit world. Yeah, I really feel, pile number one, that spirit wants you to know that spirit is strong in your life. You are connected. You are divinely connected, even if you don't feel like you have any spiritual gifts, or you don't feel like you're in flow with the energy of the universe, or you just don't even feel like you are connecting with anything when you go outside and stand underneath a tree or look up at the sky. Please know that spirit wants you to know that you are connected to all energy and all things, and you are closer in that connection to spirit than what you may even realize that you are. And if you have been feeling a lot of different feelings of connection and flow, and you have been noticing signs, and you have been connecting with flowers and trees and plants, or all of those things, then please take this as a confirmation that you are definitely experiencing what you feel like you're experiencing. You are experiencing a divine connection. You are being guided. You are being taken along the right path. It just may not be happening at the speed that you would want it to, but it's up to you to slow down, take it all in, enjoy the experience, and know that new things are coming in for you, and more than one. And so we have upright, happiness, love, intimacy, new emotions, and compassion. So possibly someone new could be coming into your life, be it a romantic relationship or a friendship. There could be a new or increase of love in the relationship or relationships that you are already in. But this just very much feels like it is saying that you are far more connected than you realize, or if you do realize that you are definitely connected, and it's confirmation. And now the Queen of Swords, Turandot, China, Arabic folktale. The Queen of Swords is a fierce and exacting force. Turandot does not forget betrayal, so her judgments, while fair and principled, seem brutal and cold. She is open-minded and intelligent, and can be charming and witty when she chooses. And upright, it means protection, meaningful criticism, tough love, skepticism, and intelligence. So I'm very much picking up on the skepticism. I do feel like maybe you do feel skeptical that if you let go of control of things, pile number one, that everything will spiral out of control, and that you need to be across everything in order for your plans to work out and for your goals to be reached and for you to get to the destination that you are wanting to arrive at. But this is asking you to realize that you do have protection. You've got spiritual protection. You are being led in the right direction. You are definitely on the right path and can allow yourself to let go and just lean into spirit so that you are able to enjoy your journey and you are able to arrive there in a much more peaceful and calm fashion. She is in control of her emotions and she can be open-minded. And while she is someone who does not forget betrayal, so maybe you've been dealing with something difficult and it has been tough to let go of, Spirit is asking you to lean into your open-minded side, to look at things from another point of view, to let go of what has happened in the past, to cut through all of this with your sword, and to feel optimism about what is coming in for you in the future. And now for the Ace of Wands, the Magic Paintbrush, China, Chinese folktale. The Ace of Wands represents inspiration, a sudden creative force. The Magic Paintbrush embodies these qualities with passion and daring. The magical moment right before the ink hits the paper and all the dreams and possibilities are within reach. And I love that too, because of the fact that it talks about that moment before the ink hits the paper. I feel like that is also talking about taking this step back, taking the time to just allow things to unfold naturally and as they should. And as I just said a moment ago about enjoying the journey there, taking a moment to stand in the space between the nothing and the something, before the ink hits the paper, before anything has been created, to just enjoy the space that you are in, to allow the ideas to flow in and the creativity to flow, but without feeling any pressure to turn it into something. So you can feel completely creative and inspired and be full of new ideas, and absolutely give yourself the permission to not get up and undertake any single one of them at this point in time, knowing that at some point the time will be right, you will be ready, things will start moving forward. But for now, it's time for you to really just try to get in touch with the divine, get in touch with your spiritual side, possibly to meditate, to do some sort of hypnosis that, thinking of things that you can do for free on YouTube here, that allows you to connect with your deeper self, a mindfulness meditation, being mindful in your body, being very aware. So being less in your head, more in your body, and more connected with what is external to you, and not in terms of things that you need to do and control and take charge of in the world, but things like the way the light is falling across the carpet in your room, or the way the sun is shining through a window. Little things that will help you to feel very connected with nature and the natural world around you. And upright, this card refers to excitement, creativity, a spark, a growth and new beginnings. So yes, definitely growth. Pile number one, I feel like Spirit is saying to you that now is a time for you to take the opportunity to really grow spiritually. And maybe you are even experiencing some sort of spiritual awakening currently, or as I said earlier, maybe you are feeling completely blocked and stuck and none of this feels like it's even possible. Spirit wants you to know, if that's the case, that it is possible, that you can reconnect, but it will take some time and work and effort on your part, pile number one. And if you are already feeling in flow and connected, definite confirmation that you are absolutely experiencing what you feel like you are, and that this is a spiritual expansion, if not an awakening. It is definitely a spiritual expansion, and time for you to connect right back to your roots and to all that is, which all comes back down to energy and spirit. So I hope I said that in a way that made sense. We're now going to read, to get a little bit more information for you, from the Light Seers, but we're using the pocket deck just because I love to shuffle this one because it's so tiny. I've been using the Light Seers deck pretty regularly, so I'm cheating by using the small one because then it still feels like I'm using a different deck, but it's obviously the same as the normal size one. Anyhow, pile number one, what does Spirit want you to know right now? Okay. Yep, perfect. I'm going to take all four of you. Thank you, Spirit. So we have the King of Cups, looking very chill, very calm, using his sound bowl to release any negative energy and to cleanse his space. We have the crab here and the starfish over here, which I feel are gifts from the ocean for him, and just him connecting with what's around him, and this sailboat in the background that is not disturbing him. It's doing its own thing and he is not thinking about it. He's focused on what's going on over here. And interestingly, we have the Eight of Wands, so things coming in very rapidly for you. We also have the Eight of Pentacles, which is the opposite of the Eight of Wands. It's a very slow card where she is sitting down and taking her time. We can see the moon going through all of its phases. And so I feel that this is saying that whatever it is that is manifesting for you, it will take time, and you need to grow comfortable in sitting and holding space for this thing to come. And if I'm seeing it right, that to me looks like she's either holding a pot plant with a tiny little shoot, or potentially it's a little candle. I'm not really sure, but either way it is, there's a candle over here. It feels like a card of waiting and taking your time. So I think that things are going to be coming in very quickly for you, pile number one, and you will need to manage the way that you react to things, whether you are very reactive and jump forward and are dealing with everything as it happens, or whether you actually take a step back and allow things to cycle through their phases and just wait to take action on things so that you are not reacting to things. And we have the Four of Pentacles, so very much keeping her energy close to her, keeping her pentacles close. So I feel, my beautiful pile number ones, that this is a time to conserve your energy. It is a time to connect back to nature and to yourself. And even if you don't feel like you are very connected with anything and you're not feeling any sort of divine energy, there are things that you can do that will still actually connect you even if you don't feel consciously aware of it. So even things like using a sound bowl, or again, good old YouTube, finding some sound healing videos on YouTube, just as useful. Cleansing your space, taking part in rituals that actually connect you with spirit and your subconscious and your higher self, even if you do feel skeptical, even if you do feel a bit awkward and uncomfortable and a bit strange about these things. Now is very much a time for you to ease into different spiritual practice that will, if it does nothing else and does not make you feel connected, it will definitely help to soothe your nervous system and make you feel relaxed. So that is never ever a bad thing, especially if you are someone who is very focused on controlling the outcomes of things. Maybe you're the head of the household and all of the mental load falls to you, possibly all of the physical load in terms of chores and cleaning and home maintenance falls to you as well, but definitely the mental load. It feels like you're the person who keeps things going in day-to-day life, and you're being asked to release at least some of that back to the universe, to let spirit handle it, let your path unfold more naturally, and to take more time out to do things that connect you with, that make you feel connected and that connect you with spirit and with your higher self, that slow you down, that make you take your time on your path, and then that allows things to unfold and you are able to achieve what it is that you are hoping to achieve. And the Eight of Pentacles is very much about working hard for what it is that you want, but in this spread I feel like it's saying that your hard work will definitely, there has been a time for it and there will be a time for it. And even for your pen to hit the paper, for you to start creating and to take those ideas and turn them into something more than just ideas, turn them into something that is actually a goal that you've wanted to achieve, an accomplishment that you have been hoping and aspiring to accomplishing. That will happen, but it is time for you to just take a bit of a breath, slow down, hold your pentacles close to you, and allow yourself to just relax and harmonize. And now I am debating if I want to get, I think I want one more card from the Dreamweaver's Oracle. And then I think we will get one from the Tarot of Carl Jung, which is all the major arcana, to find out what does Spirit want you to know. And being major arcana, it's the life-changing events, the things that change the course of our direction, that lead us to new pathways, that allow for personal growth and expansion. So there will be a very deep message for you in those cards, but just one from this deck, please, Spirit. Here we go. Beautiful. For my pile number one, we have got number 7. If you hear a Sasquatch, there you go. If you hear a Sasquatch, sigh. Okay, if you hear a Sasquatch sigh. Interesting. No clue what that means. Let's get the book. Let's find out. Number 7. Now let's see if this takes a different turn and throws me onto a new path. Essential meaning: spiritual narcolepsy, seeing through the lens of separation, competition, arrogance, ego, and narrow-mindedness. Okay, so maybe this is the energy that you have been functioning in, or you have been spending time around people who are functioning in that sort of energy, and that is what is keeping you disconnected and stopping you from being able to feel in flow and feel connected. If you're here listening to a tarot reading, you've already taken the first step, or one of the first steps, so congratulations to you. If you hear a Sasquatch sigh, know that they are sad because you've fallen into the trap of spiritual narcolepsy. You've forgotten your partnership with the universe and instead are working through your ego. Okay, so that feels perfect. The first message from Spirit is that you need to release yourself from your conscious mind and fall back into flow, to trust that you have a divine partnership happening and that you are safe and you are watched over. And this card now is saying that this is not the place that you have been coming from. Or, as I said, maybe you're spending time around people who have very different beliefs than you, don't see things the same way as you, and that has been dragging you down and making you question yourself. You think you see clearly, but you're temporarily blinded to the magic in the world. Perhaps you're comparing yourself with others, or perhaps you're seeing through the lens of lack and limitation, and therefore there isn't enough, or that you are not enough. In this moment, you are being called to wake up and remember the inherent divinity in all things and in all people. Perhaps you can't see the magic and mystery because you've lost faith, you don't believe, or you've become hypnotized by temporary outer conditions that present as rigid or fixed. You may feel an overwhelming weight and responsibility on your shoulders to make things happen. So that's exactly what this card was talking about, in terms of you feeling the need to be in control of things instead of just allowing things to happen. Yes, life can truly be hard, unfair, unreliable, exhausting, irrational, and chaotic, but none of these things are permanent or personal. Remember, all things must change, and you are now and always have been a conduit for miracles. Wake up, reorient yourself, declutter your thoughts and your environment, and be grateful these episodes are fleeting. You do not need to define your sense of self by outer conditions. This is a time to dive into more self-love and compassion, so precisely what we have been talking about. Cultivate a sense of humor, for you are more than enough. You matter, and life loves you so much. Look at the signs around you. The whole wide world is your oracle. Spirit has a plan. So definitely start looking for the signs. Start keeping your eyes out. If something feels like a sign, it is a sign. Take it that way. Allow yourself to slow down, reconnect, to be able to feel the energy that is around you. And if you are feeling like maybe all of this is ridiculous and it's a bit of a myth and it's not happening, I would ask you to just ease yourself into being in nature, to allow yourself to break everything down to what the world is made up of, the fact that everything in existence is made up of the same atoms, that we all have specks of stardust in our blood, that even if you look at things from a scientific point of view, even if you go and watch a show on space and any topic of space, you will find yourself feeling it's very difficult not to believe in magic when you learn more about space and the things that exist in the universes and the galaxies. And I can't go into it because I don't have a very scientific way of thinking about things, so I will just go off on weird and random tangents. But what I'm saying is, even if you can't lean into the metaphysical and the more spiritual side of things, I feel like taking the time out to even just learn how a flower is pollinated and blooms, or the cycle of a plant and of some sort of fruiting plant, like how it, or even spending time in a veggie patch, even planting some seeds and just watching them grow, taking the time to watch them go through their cycles, putting the work in to create a bountiful harvest of whatever it is that you plant, but actually paying attention to nature and connecting in that way. And now, pile number one, we're going to finish you up with the Tarot of Carl Jung, the Major Arcana cards, for one final message for you, for what Spirit wants you to know. I just want one from this deck, please, Spirit. Okay. Beautiful. Perfect way to finish it off. The Fool. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. And I feel like that follows on so nicely with this card, talking about how you may have become disconnected. You may be focused on what's happening in the outside world and allowing that to affect who you are and how you behave, allowing you to react instead of taking your time to be able to process things and then act. This card embodies the essence of the Fool, representing the beginning of a journey, innocence, and the potential for personal growth, which we spoke about as well. This is a time of expansion. This is a time of personal growth, of you allowing yourself to be, of you allowing yourself to let go, definitely allowing yourself to have a sense of humor, see the funny side in things. And I feel like once you're able to start easing off the accelerator, pile number one, and leaning into nature, into slowing down, into self-love and self-care, all of this creativity is going to come in. All of this new love and new feelings and feelings of connection is going to come in. I feel like you're going to be opening up the door to new beginnings. The work that you have already done is ticking along nicely, and you are able to take a step back knowing that you have put in a lot of hard work, and when things do start coming in, they're going to start coming in very, very fast. Pile number one, I feel like Spirit wants you to know that you will be able to see the results of this shift in thinking and the way that you do things very, very quickly. It's not something that you're going to have to wait a long time to see the results of. I feel like the energy is going to shift very quickly once you let yourself go and let yourself connect and let yourself, as I said, let the world go into a bit of a haze. Take the focus off the things that are going on outside of you. Let your view and your vision of the outside world go a little bit hazy, knowing that you are connecting with your inside, your internal being, your higher self, your subconscious, and through that with the energy of the universe. So, pile number one, I hope that that resonated. I also hope I made sense, because I felt like I was struggling to explain some of the concepts that I am thinking about while I'm doing this reading, so fingers crossed not. Feel free to comment if you want to let me know what you thought of the reading or how it resonated. Please subscribe if you haven't already and you'd like to join my little itty-bitty vibe tribe, and thank you so, so much if you have. I really, really appreciate you. I might see you in another pile, or I might see you in another reading. Hello and welcome, my pile number two. If you chose card number 25, Time to Feed the Hungry Heart, and this little mixed berry pie with some whipped cream, then you are my pile number two. Welcome to your reading. Whoop, still got pile number one's pie out, so we'll move this over here. I'm going to leave this here for the minute because I'm going to read from the book to get the meaning of this card. And we're asking what Spirit wants you to know right now, my beautiful pile number two. So the essential meaning is time out, self-care, a need to regroup and replenish, and nourishment. There are times when you work so hard and move so fast, juggling so many things and putting others first, that you don't remember to take care of yourself. When this happens, you start to feel burned out. You might resist this knowledge and force yourself through exhaustion to prove you're a hero, to show how far you can push yourself. After all, it's impressive being the busy one, the one who handles it all, isn't it? Well, the universe is not impressed at all. Okay, so if this is resonating, you're definitely in the right pile. If you're that person who turns up to work sick when you should have taken a day off, if you push through, if you are exhausted out of your brains and you're still up all night working on all of the things, this is definitely a message for you. Did you know that the world will continue to spin if you take some time to take care of yourself? This is a very sarcastic sounding card, guys, so maybe you really, well, maybe it's just me, but I'm hearing a lot of sarcasm, and I feel like maybe you need to hear the message in that way in order for you to be able to take on board what is being said. I've just noticed that his body is like the, what do you call it, hand blender, hand whisk. So his legs are constantly in motion, and we've got this little being inside, this dude on the outside who's looking kind of like a little bit tripped out and like the world is just overload, and then we have this peaceful, calm person inside. I feel like that's who you need to connect back with, your subconscious, your higher self, your heart space. So did you know that the world will continue to spin if you take some time to take care of yourself? Do you remember what kind of books or shows you love to explore for the sake of fun? You must build up your stories of hope and redemption, love and goodness, triumph and truth if you want to write it into your own story. Maybe you need a hot bath and a good cry, or not, a hug from a pet, dancing for the sake of it, a walk where you don't bring your list of to-dos with you. You can accomplish so much more if you include rest, relaxation, fun, spending quality time with your loved ones, healthy food, and lots of self-love to your menu. It's time to feed your hungry heart. Feed it with love. Okay, so pile number two, I feel like you guys have really not been looking after yourselves. You're burning the candle at both ends, and it's time for you to stop. And that the world will not stop spinning if you go and have a lovely bubble bath, or take some time to watch an episode of whatever trashy show it is that you might happen to like. Something that isn't serious, something that is just fun, something that's lighthearted, that you are watching just for the sake of the entertainment and for no other reason, no dateline. So we will get some cards now from the Tarot of the Divine to get some more information about what Spirit wants you to know, but that card was very clear. So it is time for you to take time out for yourself, my beautiful pile number 2, even if it's not a lot of time. And we've got Billy making a lot of noise in the background of your reading, so I feel like he's providing you with a virtual hug from a pet. He's doing soul deep sighs because he wishes that I would stop being busy with reading and that I would just go and sit on the couch with him and that we could just enjoy sitting there and being together. Billy is all about sleeping and being and getting love. Okay, so interesting because it's come up reversed. The King of Wands. So I will read that reverse, and I will read the book on this one too, on this deck as well, because it has the fables that are attached to each card. So each one, while it has similar meanings to the traditional Rider-Waite, there's also some extra meanings that connect with the fable that is the inspiration for the card. I did a reading earlier today, and I feel like I have channeled all the energy and I'm feeling a bit burnt out myself while I'm actually doing this. So I don't know if this is I'm just channeling your energy. I don't even know if I can channel. But I hope I'm making sense because I feel like I'm struggling to find my words this afternoon. So I'm really hoping that I'm actually making sense and I'm not just waffling. And these cards don't want to jump out. So I feel like that's even. Here we go. I just checked my deck too to make sure that I've got it upright, and I do. But the Page of Coins has come out in reverse as well. So this is really very interesting to me, pile number 2, that your cards are coming out in reverse, which is showing blockages in these areas. So I am definitely feeling like this first card, time to slow down, time to take care of yourself, time to call in sick if you need to, time to take some annual leave, if that would help to give you some more time to take a break and take a step back. Very interesting. And the only one to come out upright, actually I think I'll pull one more, is Death. I will pull one more. I'm feeling one more card for you. But yes, letting a situation come to an end. The transformation of something. I feel like this is speaking about the death of constant busyness and feeling like you have to always be connected, switched on, in charge, running the show. Okay, I'm taking you. And the Page of Wands upright. And I am very curious to see what she means in this deck, because she looks extremely fierce. So I'm feeling like this is saying that even in this state, you are fierce. If you allowed yourself to let go, to take some time out, to have some rest, to allow the death of this constant busyness, you would still be just as fierce as you are now, if not even more fierce, my beautiful pile number 2, because you would have the energy to be able to show up in ways that you possibly aren't at the moment. The problem with being busy all the time and giving our attention to everything is that we don't give our attention to specific things, and there might be loved ones that are missing you while you're doing everything you can to create a perfect environment for them, the perfect school experience, the perfect healthy lunchbox. They could just be missing actually playing with you and just spending some time with you. So we have the King of Wands, the Phoenix, East Asia, East Asian mythology. The King of Wands is a symbol of strength. The legend of the Phoenix spans many cultures, but in all of them, the Firebird represents nobility, rebirth. So rebirth, we also have that with death over here. Strength and loyalty, but reversed, it refers to tyranny, lack of harmony, weakness, and volatility, which makes perfect sense. So if you're running yourself into the ground, doing everything for everyone and spinning 100 plates, some of them are going to fall and some of them are going to break. And I feel like that is where the weakness comes in. By burning yourself out, you are only weakening yourself. You are not, by not showing yourself time and taking care of yourself and showing yourself love and allowing yourself to just have fun and enjoy life in the moment, even if it's only on occasion. I understand that there are a lot of situations where we need to be in charge. We have to be in control. We can't just take a break from that situation. We need to be across it. But there is definitely 24 hours in a day that you are able to carve out, even if it's only 15 minutes of it, just to be able to take some time for yourself to breathe, to laugh, because being in that constant state of hypervigilance and constant busyness does lead to volatility. It does create reactivity and stops you from being able to react in a calm manner to situations, to be able to see the funny side of situations, to be able to look at things from a different perspective and not take things so personally when it comes to different situations. So I definitely feel that the message from Spirit is being echoed with the cards that we have pulled from the Divine, or the Tarot of the Divine. Spirit wants you to slow down, pile number 2. It is very, very clear. So, the Page of Coins. This is a name that I will probably completely screw up, so apologies in advance. Biavi Nieda, Sweden, Sami Deity. The Page of Coins welcomes the beginning of spring and summer, a fresh start, the end of darkness. Biavi Nidi represents hope, setting up solid foundations and mental wellness. She is grounded and anticipates a bright future. So that's the folklore to go with the card, but reversed, a lack of common sense, immaturity, laziness, and apathy. So I feel like this is saying, pile number 2, that if you slow down, you feel like you're being lazy. If you let go of the control of some things, you feel like you're being apathetic towards them. If you maybe let your kids have a lunch order once a week instead of actually making their lunch, or you get them to make their own lunch because they're old enough now, you feel that you're being apathetic towards them and not giving them the care that they need, when that's actually not the case at all. This card is all about new beginnings. It's about a bright future. It's about a grounded person, so someone who's not volatile, someone who's not reactive, but keeping yourself in this constant state of busyness is blocking that from coming through for you. So it's time for you to let go of the busyness, of the having to be in control of everything. And as I said, you may have to genuinely be in control. I'm thinking about my daughter who has type 1 diabetes, and when they were growing up, it wasn't possible for me to let go of control of a lot of things, because otherwise they would have quite literally ended up dead. So I get that there are certain things in this life that you are not able to give up control of so easily, and that you may need to continue being the head of your household, carrying the mental load. But there are certainly things, if you take a breath, take a pause, things that you will be able to see on your to-do list that actually they don't necessarily need to be done. Maybe you can get away with not ironing because you could just fold your clothes up as soon as you bring them in off the washing line, or get them out of the dryer, and that's one less job for you to have to do. There are all sorts of ways to, especially in this day and age and a world full of conveniences, there are definitely ways that you can find that will make things that little bit easier for you, and then not using that time to be filled up with something else that you can get done in another job that you can tick off the to-do list, but allowing yourself that time and grace to be able to just relax, just to breathe, just to be able to sit on your couch and feel how soft and snuggly it is. So now Death, White Bear King Valamon, Norwegian fairy tale. Death is a huge upheaval, potentially representing the death of one way of life and the start of a new one. So exactly what we said earlier. Life changes irrevocably, and there is no way to go back. Change is necessary. The death of childhood is important in order to grow up. And so I feel like with that, the death of childhood, it could be that it's actually fears that you have had. Maybe you grew up with parents, much like my mum, who, if you did sit down for a minute, she thought you were being lazy. She definitely drilled that into me, that I need to be doing. I always need to be focused on something. There is no time to relax. We must always be actually carrying something out for the greater good. And it eventually burned me out. And I spent 5 years trying to climb back into a point of being able to function just even on a base level normally again. So a little aside from my own experience, but definitely that might be something that resonates with you. Maybe you did grow up in a household where if you were to sit down for a minute, you were told you were lazy, and the expectation was always on you to be doing more, doing better. It's time for a death of those limiting thoughts and those behaviors and actions. Upright, metamorphosis, evolution, loss, transition, and change. So yes, I definitely feel like Spirit is saying to you, gorgeous pile number 2, that it is time for a complete change of lifestyle. It's time for a change of the way that you look at things. It's time for a change of the standards that you judge yourself on. I heard a great quote, maybe you're not meeting standards because you keep raising them on yourself, or something along those lines. I said it perfectly the other day. Of course, I said it wrong today, but you get the point. Maybe you are continuously raising the bar for yourself, so it feels like you never actually reach the standards that you think you're being held to, when in actual fact they're your own standards and you keep setting them and you keep raising them. And that's why you're never able to just relax and settle and feel like you have actually met your targets. It's time for you to lower the bar. You definitely can do that without actually losing anything, my beautiful pile number 2. I feel like you are such high achievers and are so across things and are doing probably so much better than what you ever give yourself credit for, and don't even realize what a wonderful job you are actually doing and how much you get done in a day. It's time for you to release the image that you have of what you need to be in order to be enough. You're already enough. So now we have the Page of Wands upright, Republic of the Congo, Nyanga mythology. The Page of Wands represents a childlike optimism and carefree rebellion. I love this so much. That's literally the antithesis of all of what is going on over here and everything we've talked about. It's time for you to, and it probably feels like rebellion, for you to sit down on the couch and take a half an hour to watch, I don't know, the Kardashians, for example. Something is just trashy and it's has no value aside from just entertaining you. Maybe that really feels like you are rebelling. Maybe that feels like for you to stop and just actually just have a nap. Maybe that feels like rebelling and as though you are going against the grain, but that is what you're being called to do right now. For Moindo, every situation is made fun by a swish of his magical fly swatter. I love this so much. He makes many enemies, but just as many friends who help him in his journey. Yeah, so even if you piss someone off because you're not running around after them anymore, know that that allows you more time to connect with the person that you're going to make really happy just because they're really enjoying spending time in your company. Pile number 2. Upright playfulness, charisma, discovery, a rogue, and enthusiasm. So that is a beautiful way to finish off that deck. I really feel that, yeah, you need to let this way of living fall away, to lower your standards for yourself, to find more time, to just have fun, and that is going to bring in new energy. It's going to bring in new people. It's going to allow the people that are already there for you, who love you very much and probably miss you like crazy, to actually spend that time with you and connect with you. So I even said back here about being volatile because we might be so focused on getting the kids' lunches done, when in actual fact your kid might be happy to make his own sandwich and just have that bit of extra time with you to just talk with you first thing in the morning. So that's just an example. It's obviously not going to resonate with everyone, but you get the point. And so now we're going to read from the Light Seers deck, but this time I'm using the pocket one because it's little and it's fun to shuffle, and it's cheating because I wanted to try and pick some different decks, but I always like to have at least one that's familiar to me, and so I've been reading with the large one quite a bit of late, so I thought I will read with it again, but we'll go the pocket one. And we are asking Spirit, hang on, I want to make sure I've got the deck the right way up so I don't just pull you out a bunch of reverse cards by accident. We're asking, what does Spirit want you to know right now, pile number 2, but it feels very clear. You are being called to lower your expectations of yourself and what you are expected to do. Beautiful. The Two of Wands. And I love that. She's just sitting there gazing out the window. You have a choice. And this could also refer to travel. We've got the little combi here and the world globe. So it might even literally refer to actually taking a break and taking a holiday, going somewhere different, going somewhere that you, especially if you can afford to, taking the time out to maybe go and stay in a resort where you get treated and pampered and looked after and you get an actual real break. And if that isn't possible, because we don't all have the financial means to do that, or the annual leave saved up, or whatever the case may be, taking a little mini break, even having a staycation at home, just turning your phone off, not focusing on your responsibilities aside from the very immediate ones that must be taken care of, and just allowing yourself to slow down and relax, knowing that you have choices. You do have 2 options, and you are able to choose the one that serves you better than the one that you have currently been living with. And we have the Page of Wands, which is beautiful. Look how happy and enthusiastic she is. Look at the wild, carefree abandon that she is shooting her arrow with, or her wand, I should say. This is all about new energy coming in, new inspiration, new excitement, new ideas. So this feels like Spirit is saying to you, when you let go of the reins, ease up, take your foot off the accelerator, slow down, allow the world in, see the world with a sense of humor. That is going to bring in a whole new energy, and especially here too with the Page of Wands. Oh, I just realized, double Page of Wands, yes. Bringing in new energy, new fun, new lightness of spirit, new connections, even if it's connecting with people that you already know and who are already a big part of your life because you have the time to slow down and see them. That's too many, Spirit. And connect with them, to get to know their interests, to allow them to see the fun side of you and the funny side of you. But this is what is going to come in for you, pile number 2, if you do actually kill off the busyness. I think it's very much, it's probably always been, especially for women, no, but for men too, actually, that there is a societal pressure to always be busy, to always be working, to be the one who never ever calls in sick, and it's burning people out, and people are, they're struggling, they're having mental health problems, they're finding it more and more difficult just to keep up. I remember a friend and colleague once saying to me that she was shocked to hear that the predominant users of ice or meth in a community, I don't remember which community it was, but somewhere in Victoria over here in Australia, the predominant users were actually mums. And I said to her, it doesn't surprise me at all, because there is like no more pressure in the world than what is placed on mums, especially in today's day and age, to be the Pinterest mum, to be the healthy lunchbox mum, to be the influencer mum, to live up to that standard. And it's ridiculous, especially if you also have to work, which most of us have to. So I feel like it's time to kill off the limiting thought that to be busy all the time means that you are worth something. You can be just as worthwhile, and you are as much of enough as you will ever need to be, even while you are resting. Gorgeous. Number 17, the star. I love that. The Make-A-Wish card or the Wish Come True card. So I feel like this is also just talking about taking that time out to think about what it is that you wish for, what you hope for, what you dream of, to allow yourself to daydream, to allow yourself time to look up at the stars and just marvel at the universe, to stop and smell the roses, very, very literally, to go for a walk somewhere, to be outside, to be in nature. But I definitely feel like if you have been wishing for more connection, for more joy, for more happiness, potentially even for less responsibility, this is saying that this is going to come true for you, pile number 2. And I really feel like it's saying once you let go of the busyness, beautiful things are going to come in. Your wishes will start to feel like they're being granted. Your energy is going to be off the charts because you will have a lot of fun and laughter in your life, which provides its own energy and actually fuels us in a really positive way. And we have the 10 of Pentacles, which is a perfect way to end this deck because this is all about family, harmony, and happiness. And there's all this abundance as well. So if you take your foot off the gas, you are not going to lose. You are not going to disappoint your family. You're not going to have less money coming in. You're not going to become less affluent or less comfortable in the place that you are currently at. They've even got the family dog here as well. So the hug from the pet. This is what you are able to bring in for yourself, my beautiful pile number 2, if you allow yourself to rest and take a break from the busyness. Connection with your family, connection with your people in your community, feeling like you are abundant in your relationships and your connections with people. I feel very much that there are so many beautiful things that will come in for you if you allow them to, by slowing down, showing yourself some love, taking care of yourself, and just giving people that time to connect with you. So we are now going to finish up with the Tarot of Carl Jung, which is all major arcana. So this feels like a very final, or not a very final, a very important message as the final message of your reading, because the Major Arcana talks about things that help with our personal growth and help us to expand the things that change the course of our lives, the things that change the direction that we're headed in. So, Spirit, please, for my pile number 2, what message do you have for them right now? And we've got Billy making all the noise in the background again, so I feel like that's another reminder to go hug your pet if you have one. I was going to say if you don't, maybe get one, but don't do that because that's just going to add more responsibility to your life. So maybe do that down the track when things have slowed down a bit. Okay. Nothing's wanting to jump. Spirit, what have you got for my pile number 2? Okay, here we go. Haha, the devil. So staying bound to something that isn't serving you. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. Okay, that really could not be more perfect, because definitely we keep ourselves busy sometimes to stop ourselves from thinking, to stop ourselves from feeling. And as I said, you might have been raised in a household where you were made to feel if you weren't busy all the time, you were less than, or no matter how much you achieved, it was never enough and you could always do better. This represents bondage, materialism, and the shadow self, reflecting Jung's observation on the lengths people go to avoid self-confrontation. So, beautiful pile number 2, that is a perfect finish. Remaining bound to the busyness, not allowing anybody else to step in. Maybe it's a case of you have a partner who would be really happy to help out, but you aren't satisfied with the way that they do things. So you say to them, don't worry about it, I'll just do it myself. Maybe everything seems easier to just get it done yourself, when in actual fact you could delegate that job and it may not be done the way that you would do it, but you need to, again, change your standards, lower your standards. Lowering your standards isn't making you less than. It's not lowering in any way who you are as a person, what you contribute, what you're all about. It's allowing yourself to actually have some fun in this life and to just join in with the joy, to feel moments of connection, to be more aligned with who you really are as a person. And it is time to get to know that person. So guys, you might even have some shadow work that you need to do. You might find that when you stop being busy, all you do is think about your flaws, or worry about what might happen next. It might be a coping mechanism to stay busy until you are so exhausted that you just completely conk out, because that way you don't have to lay awake thinking about the things that are bothering you. So it could be a really good idea to look into shadow work and start doing that for yourself, along with as one of the things that you spend time doing. But shadow work is generally never fun, so that's not the only thing you need to take your time to do. Please do not stop being busy just to pour yourself into shadow work and then continue being busy. You need to let the busy go. You need to let the joy in. You need to allow yourself to have fun. You need to remember what it feels like to just have a really good laugh and just have fun for the sake of fun, pile number 2. So I really hope that resonated. If it did, please hit the like button. Comment if you want to let me know what you thought of the reading. Subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you so much if you have. I really appreciate you. I might see you in another pile number 2, or I might see you in another reading. Hello and welcome, my gorgeous pile number 3. If you chose number 9, When a Witch Must Drink Their Brew, and the little lemon meringue pie, then you are my pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. So I'm going to read from the book for this deck to get more information on what this card means and what Spirit wants you to know right now. Number 9, essential meaning: being unapologetically comfortable in who you are, trusting and knowing your own magic, being authentic and inspired, the courage to own your values and who you are, not succumbing to the spell of society. Okay, so this also makes me feel very much, even though the messages have already been very different across all 3 piles, you may very well have felt a connection to either pile 1 or 2 or even both. If so, I would recommend going back and checking them out, but if not, we shall just carry on. Do you trust in your own magic? You should. There is no one like you, and your essence is brimming with life force and purpose unique to you. This is your magic elixir, so drink it down and cast off whatever doesn't serve you. Being fully yourself is what's required of you right now. Nothing less will do. Yes, it takes courage to cast off the spell of society with all of its expectations, manipulations, and restrictions to claim your true expression. Do you worry about the consequences? What if you won't fit in? These are times when a new world is being birthed. Your truest note in the symphony of life can only be played by you. This is how you serve the whole world, in harmony with others, to create your sweetest music. This is a time for you to ask yourself what is truly authentic to you, what is in or out of alignment with your values. Adjust your life where you need to, for this is a profound time to stand up, shine, and be seen. Drink in your magic, share it with the world, and be bold. When a witch must drink their brew, they are at a profound moment to their own magic, just like you. You were born for these times. I love that pile number 3, and I just realized that I think I cheated pile number 2 out of an extra one of these cards from this deck. I did. So maybe they just weren't supposed to get another message from this deck, but your message, sorry guys, I am so scattered this afternoon. Your message is that it's time for just you to be you. So that's a perfect opportunity for me to take my own advice. I always say that I read for myself, and then if anybody else actually resonates and connects with the message, then I am really happy. But I predominantly made this channel as a place to read for messages that I might need to hear myself. And so I'm just going to sit here and be as authentically me as I am and ramble and waffle, and it's going to go the way that it goes. If you're connecting with it, you will be connecting with it. So my beautiful pile number 3, don't limit yourself to who society thinks that you should be. If you want to wear a certain outfit, if you want to change the color of your hair, if you want to do magical rituals, if you want to walk around barefoot in nature, if you want to go and be a naturalist, if you want to do anything at all right now, it is time for you to be the most me that you can possibly be, and to not let society drag you down with expectations of who you should be and what you should do. We did speak, even without the extra card in pile number 2, about the expectation that's on mothers, and I would say that these days it's on parents. I feel like that can drag a lot of people down, so that might be something that you connect with. But it's time for you to be the person that you were born to be, not the person that you have been told that you should be. And that could be by people when you were growing up, parents, teachers. It could be a viewpoint that's enforced on you now by siblings or friends. It could be that you feel like you need to act a certain way because you have a particular job. But you are really being called right now, pile number 3, to be your most authentic self, to be out there and proud and allow yourself to be exactly who you are. And now we're going to get some messages from the Tarot of the Divine to find out what else Spirit wants you to know right now. My beautiful pile number 3. You are beautiful, you are enough, you are whole, and you are wonderful, and it is time for you to show yourself to the world. Oops. And to really let yourself shine. Okay, you desperately wanted to come out. Very interesting. 10 of coins, but it flew out reversed. So it feels like there is some sort of block there. Did that come out reversed? No, you know what? I'm going to put that upright because I had my deck reversed in my hand. So that means to me that came out upright. Maybe we'll read both meanings and you can decide which one resonates with you more. Pile number 3. I think that's how we're going to go on this one. What does Spirit want my pile number 3 to know at this time? Okay, so you guys got an extra couple as well. Let's see. I'm going to take all of these. We have the 4 of Cups. So typically in the Rider-Waite deck, not seeing what is on offer. We have the 5 of Wands, which you can see very much even in this card is a card of fighting and battle. And it can also speak about internal battles, overthinking, being self-critical. And we have the Queen of Wands, which is a beautiful way to finish this deck. And I wanted 4, so that is absolutely perfect. Thank you, Spirit. So we're going to read from this book too, because each card relates to a different fable. So the 10 of Coins, Pan Hu, China, Yao legend. The 10 of Coins represents the hard-earned rewards of a difficult venture. The story of Pan-Hu celebrates the lineage that benefits from his hard work. The hardships he once endured allow him to appreciate his good fortune and retire surrounded by his progeny. Okay, so upright, this means inheritance, ancestry, pensions, settling down, and financial stability, but reversed, it can speak about financial disaster, disputes, instability, and broken traditions. So I feel like that could actually be a little bit of both of those, my beautiful pile number 3. I feel like by being your wholest, truest self, you will connect with your tribe. You will connect with the people that you are supposed to be connected to. The people that, if they're not your blood relatives, they still become your family. And I feel like by not doing so, you are doing yourself a big disservice. And while it might feel that you will create instability if you show the world who you really are, if you change the status quo, if you do things differently, if you speak up about your beliefs, if you come out of the closet, whatever it might be, I feel that right now it is time for broken traditions. Maybe it's time for you to step away from the way that you have been told that you need to be in order to be worth something or to be worthy. It's time for you to make your own decisions on what being worthy and being enough looks like, and in order to do that, you may have to break some traditions, but that will not be a bad thing. It could even be that you feel like if you show more of yourself at work, that could rock the boat, and so you hold back and you are a very limited version of yourself. And this is saying that that is not going to be a problem. Any fears of financial instability arising from you showing more of who you are and being more authentically yourself, it's going to be quite the opposite. You will bring in more prosperity, more abundance. Now, the Four of Cups, the Nightingale, Denmark, Danish folktale. The Four of Cups represents romanticizing bad choices while ignoring the good alternatives before you. It is coveting what is superficially better, neglecting a plain nightingale who can actually sing away death. I love that. That makes perfect sense. So the nightingale, I feel, is you. You might feel like you aren't... Maybe you're someone who is a lot plainer than it seems, and you have to be more extroverted and more out there, and actually what you want is to be quiet and to be introverted. Or it could be the exact opposite, but either way, I feel that you are ignoring yourself over here as the nightingale. You're ignoring your true self, and you are putting on airs and graces for other people, acting in a certain way, behaving in some sort of way that is expected of you, and ignoring what your own wants and needs are and what your own personality is, and that you're putting that into the background. Upright, a lack of awareness, pessimism, daydreaming, lethargy, and reevaluation. I love the reevaluation. I feel like the lethargy comes into not being able to be yourself, really saps you of your energy and drags you down. And I think that the pessimism is not believing that you're enough, not believing that you should show yourself to the world, feeling like your personality is not enough or that it's too much. And the daydreaming is the things that you think about if you would let yourself be who you want to be, how fantastic you would look in those leather pants, how amazing it would be if you had pink hair, how much you'd like to get a nose ring. I'm just thinking of very random things here, but maybe there are things that you want to be and show, and you're not doing that because you are keeping up with societal expectations instead of just letting yourself enjoy your life while it's here and you're living it, and remembering that this isn't a dress rehearsal. We only get one shot, and it's up to you to make the absolute most of it, and you can only really do that by being truly authentically yourself. The Five of Wands, the Pandavas, India, Sanskrit epic poem. The Five of Wands is represented here by the Pandavas, 5 brothers who embody unity in the face of conflict. The 5 brothers have been known to bicker and play fight, but they also care deeply for one another. A resolution to their strife only comes from good communication. And upright, it means rivalry, opponents, disagreements, competition, and clashing egos. So yeah, maybe you're keeping yourself small because of clashing egos, my beautiful pile number 3. Maybe you aren't allowing yourself to have a voice in situations. Maybe you're not having an opinion. Maybe you're hiding away who you are because you're worried that it's going to upset the apple cart and make somebody else look at you differently or dislike you. But it says that these brothers are always in unity, even when they are fighting. So I feel like that's speaking about this 10 of Coins card here, that by being yourself, you will draw in your true community and your true family. And then we have the Queen of Wands, Pele, Hawaiian deity. The Queen of Wands represents a fiery force. The volcano goddess Pele's rages can be destructive, but her blessings are just as powerful. She is the creativity of dance and the dance of nourishment, of rich soil, and the chaotic force of an explosion. And upright optimism, independence, confidence, passion, and verve. And I can't remember what verve means, but I think it's sort of along the lines of confidence. It's like having panache. Very much being open to whoever it is that you are and showing your charisma, showing your funny side, showing whatever it is that your nature is. And as I said, it might even be quite the opposite. You might have to be extroverted all the time and you would really rather just keep to yourself and be a person of very few words. And if that's who you are, well, then that's who you need to be. But this card is saying that you will have the confidence to come out and show who you really are to the world, my beautiful pile number 3, and that it's so important that you find that confidence to do so, that you need to pay attention to this little nightingale and not worry about, especially with the peacocks here, which are like the show pony boats the show pony birds of the bird world. The plain nightingale might not seem like it stacks up in comparison to these beautiful decorative birds over here, but it absolutely does. It's who you are. And the nightingale has the song that kills, what did it say? The dark, I think. I can't remember now. But my beautiful pile number 3, you are enough. You are so special in and of your own right, and it's time for you to show yourself to the world, to your friends, to your family, to your loved ones, to step out of being who you are expected to be and to start stepping into your own light and your own power and being the person that you were born to be. So not the person necessarily that you were raised to be, but the person that you were born to be, the person that you have become through the lessons that you have learnt in life, and allowing those self-limiting thoughts of other people's expectations of who you should be to fall away and just let yourself be you and do it loudly and proudly. Now we're going to read from the Light Seers Tarot deck, the pocket one, because I wanted to read from it, but I wanted to change things up, so I just got the smaller deck. Beautiful. 2 of Cups. Finding your partner, finding a connection. I feel like this is saying that as soon as you start to show your real self, you are going to connect with the right people. You are going to either build connections with the people that are already in your life, or you are going to, or as well as creating new connections with people that you draw in because they are attracted to who you are as a person. They're attracted to your wonderful personality, to your inherent gifts, to who you are when you are just being yourself. Okay, there we go. That was a perfect amount. Beautiful. So, okay, you got an extra one. We have Judgment. I feel like this speaks about freeing yourself, pile number 3, freeing yourself from the judgment of others. You being your only judge, allowing yourself to be who it is that you want to be and that you are called to be and that you are supposed to be. And we have the King of Pentacles, beautiful, comfortable in his throne, master of the wolf. He has his pentacle here, nice and strong, just like with the 10 of coins over here. So I feel like the more you are yourself, the more you will actually be able to ease into your own power, take control of situations. That's going to bring in abundance for you because you will feel in control. You will be your best self. And we also have the Knight of Wands. She's just here having an amazing time while her horse is partying in the background, letting your hair down, having fun, allowing people to enjoy your company, allowing people to see who you really are. And we have the Page of Swords. So focusing in on yourself and what it is that you want to learn for yourself, my beautiful pile number 3, but also honing your communication skills, learning how to speak up for yourself, learning how to speak your truth and stand in your truth. I feel like this is all going to be a very, very big learning curve for you, pile number 3. It's easy to say be yourself. It's a lot harder to actually do that, particularly if you grew up or have spent time around people who have told you that you are not okay, you are not enough, that you need to be more or less than what you already are. Now it's time to shake off those beliefs, but that is much easier said than done. So it will take time for you to find your voice and to learn how to speak your truth and be yourself. But you need to start by letting go of other people's judgments of you. And you also, possibly, especially if pile number 2 did resonate, maybe you need to do some shadow work to help you with dealing with the negative voices and the self-limiting thoughts and the things that are not helpful to you anymore, things that are keeping you small or stuck where you are and not able to be, still fighting with yourself, battling with the egos of others, shrinking yourself so that you don't come up against anyone else's ego and hurt anybody's feelings or pride. It will take time. Pile number 3, this is definitely not an overnight process, but Spirit wants you to really put in the hard yards to work towards this, because it will be to your benefit. It will bring about beautiful outcomes. It's going to bring a lot of joy, a lot of stability, and a lot of release and a lot of connection. So now we will read the extra card that I missed in the last reading from the Dreamweaver's Oracle to get you another message from Spirit. What does Spirit want you to know right now? In the middle of the bridge, number 15. Okay. And with the yin-yang here, all about balance. So this is very interesting. I wonder what this is going to say. I'm just seeing in the middle of the bridge, feeling like a transition. Feeling like, as I said, this is not a process that can happen quickly. It's something that will happen over time and takes a lot of work and a lot of inner reflection, a lot of changing of habits, a lot of pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. So in the middle of the bridge, essential meaning, learning from different viewpoints and life experiences, compassionate listening and meeting in the middle. Sometimes you get stuck seeing the world in a particular way. Maybe you've been indoctrinated to see things from a specific vantage point due to your past experiences, literally what we were just talking about. After all, society conditions us in the same way, encouraging us to follow the trodden path of this is how we do things. This card is absolutely perfect. I'm so glad I decided to pull one for you. Maybe you've been comfortable throughout your life without finding it necessary to be open to different perspectives. Things have worked well so far, so why change? You are being invited now to see things from other points of view. It is the appropriate time for you to engage in deep listening as you learn from other people and situations that are completely different from your own. This is a divine orchestration and a celebration of nuance and complexity that will expand your capacity for understanding, love, and compassion. Stay open to whatever you may discover, trusting it will change you for the better. This is a brilliant moment for creative endeavors that will surely surprise you as you meet the divine halfway across the great divide. Allow these innovative ideas and new perspectives to expand your heart. This is a beautiful moment of exchanging gifts for the highest good. In the middle of the bridge, just know how truly blessed you are. So beautiful, pile number 3. Yes, not just seeing the world through the lens of ego that you have been surrounded by or what you have been raised with. Exploring different ways of doing things, exploring different ways of seeing things, deciding what fits you. And you might change who you are 100 times, and that is fine. You are still able to express who you are and how you are feeling while you are undergoing these changes. That is all about personal growth and learning and becoming a bigger and better person, my beautiful pile number 3. So that is what's being asked of you right now. Focus outside of the small world that you have been living in. If there's something that you want to try that you've seen someone else doing and you would like to give it a go, now is definitely the time. It's time to experiment. It's time to get creative. It's time to try out new things and new experiences and really get to learn. Maybe you don't even know who you are as a person because you've always been what somebody else wants you to be. Maybe you're someone who is very good at chameleoning, and you can adapt your personality to fit with whoever it is that you're around so that you're always the right amount of enough for other people. That is not what Spirit wants you to keep doing, beautiful pile number 3. Spirit wants you to move away from that way of thinking. Allow yourself to open up and expand to new ways of thinking and new ways of doing things. Find ways to connect with passion. The Queen of Wands, again, replicates the call over here to be creative. She is extremely creative. She is very passionate. She is very fiery. The Knight of Wands over here as well. We do have a lot of grounding with the coins in this reading, actually just 2 cards, but we have a lot of fire with the wands going on. So I feel that you are being called to express your creativity, to express your most authentic self. And you can do that by learning who you are, and you can do that by listening to other people and taking on what it is that you would like to embody in your own life. And so now, to finish your reading, pile number 3, we're going to get some cards from the Tarot of Carl Jung, which are the Major Arcana cards. So this is an important message for you. The whole message is important, but this one talks about changes that have the ability to completely redirect your life. Things that create expansion of self and spirit and lead to personal growth. So asking Spirit for my beautiful pile number 3, what final message do you have for them right now? The Hermit. Very interesting. Number 9. Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakes. Represents introspection, solitude, and guidance, paralleling Jung's belief in the importance of self-awareness and inner wisdom. So, pile number 3, I feel like you are getting 2 different messages here, but they do make sense. You're being called to listen, to learn from other people, to hear their experiences, see their way of life, look at their point of view, and take on what works for you. But you are also being called to balance that with introspection, focusing on what you believe, what you want for yourself, who you want to be, how you see yourself, and allowing your light to illuminate to the world, seeing the world through eyes that are your own. So I feel like while you're being asked to have different experiences, try new things, hear different ways of doing things, you are also being called to then internalize what you are learning by not internalize, to process what you are learning and internalize only what actually works for you and feels authentic to you and who you really are, my beautiful pile number 3. You are a wonderful person. You are enough. You are an absolutely beautiful energy and soul and light in this life. And Spirit would like for you to show that in whatever way feels the most you to you. You are being called to be yourself, to just allow yourself to shine and to cast off the shackles of whatever it is that society thinks that you should be, and just be yourself, and that the world will love you anyway. It's like my daughter always says, you could be the juiciest peach and you'll still find someone who doesn't like peaches. There's always going to be people that will not like who you are, but by showing your real self, you will attract in the people that actually matter, your community, your family, your very closest friends, the people that are meant to be on your path and walking with you and allowed to enjoy your life with you as well. So by being yourself, you will be limiting access to those people that you are just trying to please, that aren't bringing you any benefit, that you are keeping happy at the expense of yourself, and you will bring in the people that are there for you. You will unleash your creativity. You will open up doors. You will learn new ways of being able to speak your truth and be comfortable in your own power, and you will find balance in that. So my beautiful pile number 3s, I hope that resonated. If it did, please hit the like button. Comment if you would like to let me know how the reading resonated for you. Please subscribe if you haven't already, or at least consider subscribing. And if you have, thank you so, so much. I appreciate you endlessly. I might see you in another pile, or I might see you in another reading.